can double this number right now because there's some people that couldn't get on from your guys' team. If you guys could take this Zoom link and just share it out to one of your chats and then comment the word done. By the way, I'm also supporting somebody's business today. I'm gonna give away $1,000 in cash or your life, whatever you guys want. I always try to do giveaways for more people to show up to my event because that's what it takes. Some people just like the money and some people just like the information. And then some people like the application. Take the link and then share it out in your chats. Let me give a little bit of ground rules for today. Today we're gonna do a 2-hour minimum virtual live training. All I ask you guys to do is just be locked in and present for the next 2 hours. I do not, except if you're one of my students, okay? And that's one of my promises. You guys always know I'm always gonna invite you to be one of my students at the end. 90% of you guys are probably already one of my students. Congratulations at the convention. Now, I want you guys just to be dialed in for the next 2 hours. I speak super fast, okay? It's a live event. You guys have asked that are international that couldn't show up to my convention. Daniel, can you please do a live virtual training? So I said, screw it. What's the number one thing that you guys deal with inside of your business? And the biggest reply back was, Daniel, I can't get people to close on the first conversation. I can't handle people's objections. It constantly feels like every time I get on a phone call, you know, people are just telling me they need to speak to their wife, they need to think about it, etc. So today's event is gonna be about one thing only. How do you close on the first conversation? So you handle all the objections and you close on the first conversation. I made an extra bonus module for everybody today to say, even when we go to follow-up, what do we do inside of follow-up? Now, what I could have done is kind of scripted this like a sales school course, and then I said, fuck it. Why don't I just train you guys like I train my team that is on this Zoom call? Why don't I just train everybody here that my actual sales team gets? Like every single day. I'm like, this is the slides that my sales team gets in the morning when we do a morning meeting. So last week, and we're gonna dive into the event right now, by the way. We hosted this event because there was a lot of people that I'm like, wow, everybody's in the same opportunity, yet there's people making $100,000 a month, there's people making $1,000 a month. And there's people that are sitting inside a compensation plan right now that could pay them $1 million a month. They're in an industry that could pay them $1 million a month, but they're really only getting $1,000 out of it. So the why we hosted this, by the way, was because I'm like, most reps are driving a Ferrari with product Honda level skills. The vehicle isn't the problem. You upgrade the driver and finally the Ferrari gets to do what it was built to do, and that's why we're freaking hosting this. Can I say it again? Finally, the Ferrari, you, Michelle, you, Bob, you get to do what you're meant to do, okay? So you could feel the actual fucking beauty of the business. It took me 6 years to realize this inside a business. So now let's dive into it. I'm sitting down with my team. Last week, we're talking about this virtual event, and my team's sitting down. I said, guys, what do you guys experience on these phone calls 24/7? Because I'm not the manager of my business. I have a sales manager. But I flew some team members into my office because I wanted to get intimate with them, okay? And I said, guys, what do you guys experience inside of the business? Like every single day, what's going on inside of the phone calls? Daniel, the majority of people, bro, they love you. They're just broke, man. They just don't have the money. They just started in sales. The people that already do have the money, they've already paid you $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for a one-on-one session. They've came out to your events. I'm like, yeah, but what about all the other leads, right? We get thousands of leads every single week. He's like, dude, they love you, man. They just haven't made money yet. Then I go to the next person. Stick with me, team. There's a reason why I'm hosting this event, okay? I'm not biased towards you guys. I'm telling you my salespeople, my business. Next sales guy. Dude, so why haven't they bought? You got 100 dials a day. Why hasn't somebody bought? Yeah, man, I mean, I'm having a good conversation with them. They just say they just got to get their funds together. I'm like, but dude, they can like finance a $300 program. Like anybody can get funding for $300. Like I'm not talking about a program for 30,000. I'm talking a freaking program for like $300. Yeah, but and there's people here, by the way, that have product offer and services that are $300 and people tell you they're broke. I promise you. There's people here that have a product for $300 and people still tell you I'm broke. I don't have the money right now. And I promise you they will spend the money tomorrow morning on a bill. I promise you that, okay? Is there people inside the Zoom? Steve, can you go to the chat? I need to see. Go to the chat. Put the thing all over the chat. Oh, no. This is not fun. Take the link and share it. Okay, we just upped this to another couple hundred people. I'm only doing this training once. Take the link and share it with the chat and drop the word done. And Steve is getting a bunch of names so we can put it on the wheel. Whoever shares the link, we're going to put it on the board today. So let's keep going with this. I hear a no money objection. I hear a I'm broke objection. I hear a I'm going to get paid next week objection. I hear a I spent money on a thing like this last year and it didn't work out objection. Another money one. All my reps start saying, dude, nobody has the money. And the people that have the money, they just need to think it over. It's okay. That's it? They said, yeah. So what I'm hearing is, I'm hearing the same objection, just said different ways, basically. Right? Yes. Okay, great. This is where I made the event. I said, this is what the event's gonna be on. Can you guys write this down? There's 3 types of salespeople and negotiators inside a business. There's 3 types of negotiators and salespeople inside a business. Steve, stop the chat. Everybody's done. Now let's stop the chat. Let's turn off the chat. Now we're gonna get to work. And then you could just put in the tag, take this link and share it with your team. Just write that in the chat. And now everybody focuses. All right, here we go. There's 3 types of salespeople. Salesperson number 1. Can you write this out? Salesperson number 1 always sells off price. The negotiator number 1 will always sell off price. That means this. They will say, do you need a cheaper option? When do you get paid? Oh yeah, I know it's a little bit expensive. And by the way, if they sell off price, okay, and they will compete on cost and they will lose every time. If they sell on price, they're thinking about price themselves, right? Just wait for a second. So I think 90% of salespeople sell off price. Now, here we go. This is gonna be a better one. Professionals sell off value. Now write this down. Professionals sell off value. So it means, what's the benefits, right, of doing business with us? What's the benefits? Like, hey, don't worry about the price. This is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get this more sales. This is what you're gonna get. So let me give you a good example, right? I'm gonna give you guys a great example of this. If I'm getting a home and I'm buying a home, and this guy says, Daniel G, this just happened 6 months ago or a year ago. Dude, this home is beautiful. Look at the sunset. Look at the staircase. Look at the marble flooring. You got 6 bedrooms. If your family wants to come, you can host your family. I'm like, this is beautiful. I said, but you know what? The payments are too high. He said, well, what do you want? I'm like, yeah, payments are too high. So then he starts selling. He's like, yeah, but you know, the payments in that neighborhood, they're a little bit more expensive. Look at the sunset. Look at the sunset. Look at the sunset. I'm like, I like the sunset. I said, but the payments. So he starts negotiating with me. He starts telling me about the sunset. You come home from work, you're gonna be relaxed. He starts to do what? He starts to add value to the 12K. Now, wait a minute. He also sold me. Stick with me for a second. He's a professional. He sold me. This is good. I've never said this before. He's a professional. He sold me. He sold off value. He kept stacking value. He didn't discount it. He didn't go to another neighborhood. He kept stacking it. He sells me it. I paid nothing, $12,000 a month for this home. By the way, I was bickering about the price before. I don't want to pay that. Gives me the home. The home's done. I live in the home. A year goes by. Did he sell me? Yes. Was he a professional? Yes. Was he on Daniel G's webinar? 100% not. Was he a professional? Yes. Was he on my webinar? No. Now here's what happens. You ready for this? You guys are going to like this story. Steve, don't zoom into this just yet. Here's the story. You ready for this? July 11th and 12th. I don't know who came to my convention. Maybe you could put your hand in the chat if you came to a convention. I see Ozzy. Hey, I see, hey, MJ. What's up? Okay, so there's some people that came to the convention, right? Now, some of y'all also know the story of my backyard story. This is why I made the event. I'm like, oh, this is it. The backyard story made this event right here. So if you don't know the backyard story, let me give you the backyard story. I'm sitting in the backyard. I'm done the event. It's July 13th, Sunday night. We go have a good dinner in my backyard. Everybody's going to have a good get-together. We had a bunch of platinum ticket holders, a couple hundred platinum ticket holders. We're going back to the backyard. I step foot in my backyard. I turn to Tony. Forgive my language, but I said, fuck. He said, what's wrong? I said, look at this. It's ridiculous. Somebody's going to fall inside of the lake. There was too many people in the backyard. Stick with me on the story. Daniel, what does this backyard have to do? There was too many people in the backyard. Automatically, I was swearing at my real estate agent in my head. I was swearing at him in my head. I was so mad. I couldn't wait to call him on Monday. I couldn't wait to call him. I couldn't wait to call him. And if he's on this call, dude, I love you. And I'm so happy that you're on this call. I couldn't wait to call him. Why? The 12K didn't matter. You want to know what mattered? There was too many people in my backyard. You want to know what's going through my head? Imagine if there was 400, if we could have hit 400 people in the backyard, I would have made triple the amount of money. People would have had triple the amount of fun. People would have been more inside the community. Imagine we had a golf course. Imagine we had a basketball court. Imagine we had this. He was selling me the fucking sunset because he thought that's what was valuable to my mind. But what's more valuable to me more than anything? What's my game inside of life? You know sales is my game. You know that's my sport. You know how DG is. That's me. That's who I am. If he got the time to know DG, $12,000 would have went poof, disappear, gone. And what would he have done? He would have sold the perception of value and he would have got a $25,000 monthly payment sale. But because he sold what he thought is valuable and he didn't take the time to understand how to put the deal together to see the perception of value, what did he end up? He thought, there's some people that thought the 12,000 was a lot. You know what I said back to him on Monday? Dude, I need 3 acres of land. Please make my payments $50,000 because I'm losing damn money. But just about a year ago, I was arguing the price. We can end the webinar right now. This should be enough. If you don't know the perception of value, what your clients want, there will always be an objection about price. And meanwhile, somebody's trying to use all these fancy objection handling techniques from Instagram, and the deal sucks towards the client. Let me say that again. The deal sucks. He's selling the sunset. He's selling the sunset to a guy that's addicted to his business. And the moment he used a closed on me, being like, wait, Daniel, do you host events? Yes, I do. How many people come to your events? A couple thousand? Do you ever have VIP parties? Yeah. How many people come to your VIP parties? 100 people, 200 people. What do they pay for the tickets? A couple $1,000s? Okay. So if we tripled your VIP parties and we made it like a VIP party, we're talking about, Daniel, like the Great Gatsby party. Would that something you'd be interested in? Would that help your business? Would that make you more money that day? Yeah. You think you'd bring in 500 people if we could do the Great Gatsby party? Yeah. 500 people, a couple extra thousand. So you could bring in an extra $100,000 a month? Yeah. And your clients would love you? Yeah. And the rich people would be like, oh, he has it like that? Yeah. This ain't the house for you, Daniel. I'm sorry. If you want to buy this house, buy it from somebody else, but I'm not selling it to you. Here's the house from you. This is what you need. And he labels me with what I need because he understands the perception of my value. He labels me with what I need. He doesn't label me with what I want. Let me say that again. He labels me with what I need. He doesn't label me with what I want. Some people think they want something. Other people know what they want. They don't know what they need. He labeled me with what I need. And by the way, if I felt like he was an a-hole, he still did his job with what I needed, and I will always go back to him and sell. I'd be like, no, oh, he's right. See, the problem with selling is we're constantly trying to dig deeper and be like, well, how would it feel if you had your dream life? Dude, there's no going deeper. This is who you are. This is what you need. If you don't get it from me, get it from somebody else, but don't tell you I didn't tell you 6 months ago. This is what you don't need this house. This house is gonna be good for one thing. You ready? When you come home, you're gonna be like, I made it. And then when you get back to your everyday life, which is business, your addiction to business, you're gonna say, I needed a house that actually supported my needs. And you're gonna come back to me and you're gonna get me pissed off. I don't know if a lot of people tell you the truth. I know a lot of agents will lie to you, but you need a home to host. You are a host and that's who you are. Let me show you these homes. And at the end of the day, it's completely your decision, but this isn't what you need. This might be what you want. But if we can get you both, what you want and what you need, would you actually look at it? Yes, perfect. Okay, I think we might need to record this one. So now what I'm trying to show you guys is that the amateur is talking about the 12K. Oh, do you need something cheaper? Do you want me to show you a cheaper package? The professional is saying, dude, this is why people choose 12K. The professional says, this is why you need 25K. What a big difference. See, the art of the deal, write this down. The art of the deal means this. The client knows they're gonna win more than the salesperson would ever win. Sales is just the outcome of a massively crafted deal. That's it. Sales is just the outcome of a deal. But you're like, Daniel, I sell house shakes, I sell insurance, I sell real estate. Yes, sales is just the outcome of a deal. So the question becomes, what's a deal? If sales is the outcome of a deal, right? Sales comes from a deal. A deal comes from the client wins more than you. The client makes $150,000 a month now. My real estate agent made $50,000 a month maybe. And when the client feels they can win more than you and maybe than all your customers, that's when they say yes to the deal. So really the art of selling is just positioning your product the right way where people feel like I'm gonna win more than that person actually selling me. Where does the salesperson win? When the salesperson knows how to repeat that and do that a lot of times to a lot of people. That's when you make millions. That's where your confidence comes from as a salesperson. This is the introduction, by the way. Your confidence will come in sales knowing that if you're 18 years old like Daniel G or 21 years old like Daniel G and you're knocking on hospital doors to sell doctors' medical equipment and that doctor's making $300,000 a year and Daniel G's only making $60,000 a year, where do you get confidence from? Knowing that when you sell that doctor and then you sell another doctor and then you sell another doctor, eventually, long enough, the more you service all these people, you will make more money than this doctor. And I always had that thought inside of my head. The more I can help other people win, my income will naturally be a byproduct. The problem is people want to think of themselves first and the client second. That's it. All right, we're done for the day. Can we end the live webinar? We good? No? You want to keep going? Tony shaved his head today. You guys want to keep going? All right, here we go. Let's dive into it. All right, so what the heck is an objection? Let's turn on the chat. Steve, let's turn them back on the chat. Are we ready? Let's type a yes in the chat. Are we ready for today's training? What the heck is an objection? I know some of you guys are like, well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted you to teach me how to deal with an objection. Sales is gonna be so difficult if you keep thinking about your product and you don't keep thinking about their perception. World-class salespeople sell the perception of value. They don't sell value. They sell the perception of value. Oh my Lord, this looks like gibberish. They sell the perception. It shapes how they see the objections. They disappear. Objections disappear when you sell the perception. So why do objections happen? Okay? Objections is nothing more than a prospect, and Steve, you could screenshot this right now, than a prospect verbalizing what's happening inside of them. Decode it and you own it, I said. So here we go. Number one, it's insecurity spoken out loud. Doubts, hesitation, fear. Doubts, hesitation, fear. It's just insecurity spoken out loud. Now, when does a woman hesitate from saying yes to a man for the date? When the woman is what? Insecure, has doubts, doesn't have confidence that it's gonna be the right way that she spends her time. I'm scared. I don't wanna get hurt. I don't know. This person doesn't give me a lot of confidence. The moment there's a lack of confidence, remember from the guy, there's a lack of confidence from the woman can't go out because she's like, I don't know. The guy really doesn't know what time. He keeps acting a little bit weird. He keeps acting a little bit flaky. Yeah, you know what? I'm just a little bit busy right now. That's all it is. By the way, you could write this down. Since objections come from an internal thing of insecurity, write this down. People want to be led by people that can lead them better than they can lead themselves. People want to be led by people that can lead them better than they can lead themselves. So remember what I said to close is, it's Tony, this is what you need. You need this, this, and this. This is how your hair is. This is how you want it to grow. You need this, you need this, you need this. I still haven't found other products at ours that can deliver all three. If you do find those, let me know, but this is what you need. Don't go let somebody lie to you to tell you what you want. Sure, ours might be triple the cost. And honestly, I could sell it to you for even more because of the results that you're gonna get. This is what you need. This is how much it's gonna cost you. How soon do you want your hair to start growing back? I just wanna better understand. I'm leading Tony. I'm not asking him like, so do you think this is gonna be the solution to all your answers inside of life? There's this trainer guy online that tells people, envision yourself when you're driving the Ferrari. Do you think that's a lifestyle that you want? And then somebody says, yeah, man, I wanna be making more money. How does it feel not making that money? It feels like garbage, dude. Stop being weird inside of sales. Figure out what people need and sell them off their priorities of what they need. Do you guys know my sales guys' conversations are 30 minutes? My conversations are 4 minutes? For my salespeople that are on this call right now, I'm training you guys right now, my salespeople. Why is it that your guys' calls are 30 and mine's 3? Because I get down to the need right away. I'm like, this is what this person needs. But you need this tone. You don't need no tones. Barbara, this is what you need inside of business. I rob the need. You know when you rob a bank, I rob the need. I rob it quickly. Hey, this is what you need. I don't need to ask you 45 different questions. This is what I do for a living. A barber cuts hair. This is what I do. I figure out why the heck you came to our convention in the first place. Nobody comes out to weird world-class closure conventions. You came out to a convention. This is why you actually came out. This is where you are inside of life. Whether you want to do it in a year down the road or you want to do it for thing, this is exactly how much we charge. How soon do you want to start covering up the 3 deals that you're losing every single week? Next one, it's a request for more information. They're not shutting the door. They're just asking you to open it wider. So let's say, for example, somebody says no to you. Well, my theory is this. If somebody says no, they're still not confident, they're still not certain. You got to deepen the perception of value. We're going to get into that today. You got to deepen the perception of value. Maybe you found the wrong need and you got to keep going to the next need. But I promise you one thing, you got to deepen the perception of value. The third one, it's an invite. It's an invite. Somebody says, no, thank you, I'm not interested. It was an invite to open the conversation, not to handle the no, but to get inside the no. Somebody tries to fight the no. The other person tries to get inside the no, K-N-O-W, right? You don't try to fight the no, you try to get inside the no. Screenshot it, move on. That's all an objection is. Don't fight the no, get inside the no. Screenshot it, move on. People are like, oh shit, screenshot it, move on. Steve, don't give it to them, go to the next one. We're having fun today, Saturday night, right? What are we at? Did we hit 900 people? Are we maxed out? We just got to max it out. We don't have teamwork here. Teamwork makes the dream work. Steve, put it on. Hover the little thing over it. I can't see. Hover it over. Yep. I told you. People wanted to be late to the webinar. I said, don't be late today. We're not doing it twice. Here we go. All right. Why do objections occur? Don't give this to them yet, Steve. I'm blocking this one right now. I need a little bit of engagement here today. Why the heck do objections occur? Well, here's why an objection occurs. Number one is because we created it. Can you write that down? There's a few different reasons. Number one, well, the first one, here's the first reason, is that it's inside of your own head. It's internal. The second one is that you created it. The first one, that it's always internal. So remember what I said, most of you guys will get, remember at my event, I said, the objections that you get inside of business are the objections that you have inside of your head. I don't know if you don't have money inside of your bank account right now, if there's $379 in your bank account, but if you're selling a $3,000 product, you will have a $3,000 objection inside of your head because you can't afford it, so it's internal. If you're selling a home right now and it's $7 million and you only got $17,000 in your bank account, you will have a $7 million objection inside of your head because you're gonna walk inside the home and you're gonna say, shit, who can afford a home like this? The objection is always internal before it's external. That's why I put out the video saying, hey, by the way, whatever's internal inside of your head, stare at the mirror and get it out. So say the price of your program a lot. Say it can be that small that the moment you say the price of your program, you don't deliver it with certainty. The top package, so you just take your top package, you stand in front of the mirror and you repeat your top package. The second one is you create it with your language. So here's what I mean by that. If you go DM somebody and you prospect them online, or you cold call somebody, I love this one, and people say, are you interested to make an additional source of income on top of what you're currently doing? Are you interested to sell your home and make an additional source of income on whatever? No, I'm not interested. No, thank you, I'm not interested. Who created the objection? The salesperson. There's a dude still telling somebody to ask people if they're interested. There's another guy telling somebody, hey, when you get on a cold call with somebody, ask them, sir, do you have 30 seconds? Why do you think people tell you I'm busy right now? Because you created the objection. A leader, can you write this down? Stop qualifying to your customers. Your customers are supposed to qualify to you. Can I say that? I said, stop selling your customers. Your customers are supposed to be selling you. You don't sell your customers sell you. But you can only do that when you put yourself in the position of authority. Now, we got, Tony, follow me. There's a chair right here, right? You go down, bring it down. There's a chair. Okay? Yeah, you see the chair. Okay, there's a chair. Here's a chair. You see? There's a chair. Okay. If you walk in my dealership, do I say this to you? Hey, would you like to have a seat? No, what I say is, Daniel G, have a seat. What would you like to drink? And you sit down. You just sit down. Daniel G, what would you like to drink? Have a seat. Hey, have a seat. When you walk into the doctor's office, stick with me for a second. I know you guys think this is just, oh, they just do this. No, when you walk into a doctor's office, you give them whatever you need to give them, and they say, what? Take a seat. Sit down in the chair. Wait for the doctor. When the doctor calls you up, you're going to get up. We're going to call your name. You're going to get up. Once you get up, you're going to go to the doctor's office. See, you don't even know that when you're in the doctor's office, they're already putting you in a state of trance before you even get to the office. What do you mean? Yeah, you don't even know it. They're doing the exact same thing the car dealership does. Take a seat. When you get to the doctor's office, you're going to listen to the doctor. You're not going to object. The reason why you're not going to object is because that's the doctor. The doctor tells you what to do, tells you the prescription, and we don't need people in here coming in with ChatGPT. If ChatGPT was good enough, don't come into the doctor's office. Take a seat. We're going to start you down. You take a seat. Good. Listen to me. You guys ever see my boy Marcel go through the process of trance and hypnosis? What does he say? He starts getting you into what? His verbal commands. Hey, by the way, I need you to hold your hands together. When you hold your hands together, you're going to feel your thumbs getting closer and closer and closer. They're going to become magnets. When you feel your thumbs close and they're going to become magnets. I want you, okay, on the count of 5, when I'm going to count 5, you're going to try to pull your hands apart. You're going to get so close, they're going to be close like magnets. When I close your hand, and then he's putting you in this thing. Holy jeez. We got some loud thunder and lightning out here today. You start to get in what? Inside of these verbal small micro commitments. Is he saying this? We're getting deeper, by the way, right now on today's training. Is he saying, do you mind doing me a favor? Is it okay if you put your right hand to your left hand? Can you just do it for me? Take your right hand, take your left hand, put them together, grasp them hard, put your hands and your thumbs together like there's magnets, and it's impossible to pull them away. It's impossible to pull them away. It's impossible to pull them away. Now you're like, shit, it's impossible. The more he starts to ask, by the way, the more he starts to ask, can you? Do you mind? Do you have 30 minutes? Do you have time tonight to look at it? You start shooting yourself in the foot. And objections come at the end of the conversation because what you lack to do in the beginning of the conversation. So that what you lack to do, the posture that you lack in the beginning, it always comes towards the end. Some of you guys are asking questions that you don't want the answer to and that you don't know the answer to. Why would you ask it? If I say, sell me this coffee, and you start saying, well, like, what kind of coffee do you drink right now? You're already done. Why? Because you asked me a question that you don't know the answer to. You might shoot yourself in the foot. What kind of coffee do you like right now? Imagine the worst case scenario. But the best case scenario, hey, by the way, ask whatever question that you know is going to progress the sale. Wait, that's on another slide. Language created the objection. So can we take this out of the language right now? Let's take this out of the language. What are the objections that you guys get inside of sales and prospecting? I'm too busy. I'm not interested. Send me over an email. Always send me over info. Take the objections out from your language. It's not about them. It's always about you. So if you're getting the I'm too busy objection, it's because you didn't show them that you're busy. You didn't show them that you were about to leave inside of the conversation. So if you didn't say, hey, by the way, Barbara, I got about 13 seconds on this phone call. Before we head out, you guys hear that? That is serious. That was on top of us. Guys, I promise you that was on top of us because the lights just flashed up in here. Steve's like, my equipment's fucked. All right, I already see Steve. Steve's like, I don't like this. Me, I'm ready. The thunder's coming today. All right, team. So we're never going to ask somebody, hey, by the way, do you have 3 minutes? We're never going to ask them, are you interested for another opportunity? We're never going to ask them, hey, by the way, would you like to see another product? Because they're going to give you the objections. I'm too busy. I'm not interested. Send me over some information. And because I know that when I prospect people, I eliminate the objections with my language. Stick with me. I know the thunder's loud. Just stick with me right now, okay? God bless the thunder. Let's keep going right now. Oh, the last reason for the objection, by the way, it's the wrong positioning. The offer wasn't framed with enough power, so the price felt bigger than the problem. Ooh, can we write that down? The offer wasn't framed with enough power, so the price felt bigger than the problem. Screenshot the gibberish as we go on, because you guys see all the scribbles right now. Screenshot that one right there. Boom, screenshot. They didn't say no to the product. They said no to the positioning of the product. Let me say that again. They didn't say no to the product. They said no to the perception of how it was positioned for their life. Everything's about the deal. Let's keep going forward here, okay? Objection handling versus objection creation. We just covered that. Ooh, it's beautiful outside. All right, here we go. Objection handling versus objection creation. Write this down for a second. You guys can screen this. When you ask them, do you have 30 seconds? You just opened up the door for I don't have time. Every weak question is an invitation for resistance. Every powerful question closes the door before it opens. So imagine, here's the difference. Write this down for a second. Instead of saying to somebody, are you available to meet at 2 p.m. Eastern? You just created, no, I'm not. If you say to somebody, what are you doing tomorrow at, let me see here, at 2 p.m. for 5 minutes, you now didn't create the I'm too busy objection because you cleared the agenda rather than for asking for the time. Did you see it? You cleared the agenda rather than asking for the time. The person that asks for the time gets the time objection. The person that clears the agenda doesn't get the time objection. Let's keep going with this. Stop rehearsing cleanup lines. Start engineering conversations that never need them. Ooh. This is the introduction. Are we still at the introduction? Yes. Let's still go, okay? So, how amateur reps versus professional reps handle objections. Okay. Amateur reps fuel the objection. Professional reps get inside the no and reclose it. An amateur rep, when somebody says, I don't have the money, they say, when do you get paid? An amateur rep, when somebody says, I need to think about it, they say, well, what do you need to think about? They try to argue. Can you write this down? They try to argue with the no. I just want you guys to see where you guys are at right now inside of the sales. You're like, okay, this is where I'm at. A professional rep steps inside of it and they explore it a little bit more. They're like, hey, I completely understand that you need to think about it. Take your time. If we do have another conversation right now in the next 3 weeks, what am I going to send you over that's going to save us time from going back and forth? Were you still a little bit concerned about the price, the product, or the program? They're getting inside the no. The professional rep recloses it after they get inside of the no. Same objection, completely different outcome, by the way. Sales is not about the amount of follow-ups you do. It's the amount of times you go back in for the reclose. So I want you guys to look at your reclose rate. Don't look at how many conversations did you had, how many times did you go back in to try to close the deal. Everybody knows my shin pad story. I don't have to tell it to you guys. The one where when I'm young and I said I wore the shin pads when I was young because I used to put my foot in the door and say, sir, I know you want to close the door on me, but I need to tell my manager as to why you didn't want us to service your lawn today. What was the real reason so I could just put it down here? And they would hit the door on my shin and that would be the 5th attempt. That would be the 5th, 6th attempt. They would hit the door. I'm like, all the money is made on the 5th reclose. The money is not made on the 5th follow-up. The money is made on the 5th reclose. Now, if you guys don't believe me, you could keep doing what you're doing and my income is not going to change predicated if you guys make more income, by the way. I don't have to be biased with you guys. You could keep attempting 1 to 2 times, but you will follow up 2 to 10 times. Or you can attempt 5 to 10 times and you might have to follow up once if you don't close it. I'd rather pick this game because I spent so much time getting them on a phone call. I spent so much time promoting it. Let's keep going, guys. We're going to get into how to handle objections. You ready for this? Prospecting objections versus sales objections. Write this down. When you go DM somebody to prospect them, you're pushing them inside of the sale. When you're selling them, you're pulling them back in. Let me say that again. When I'm trying to get somebody on a call, I'm pushing you on the call. I'm pushing you. Nobody's talking about this thing. I'm pushing for the booked meeting. I'm pushing for the book meeting. Steve, stop the chat, close the chat. Say, take the link, share the link. All right, here we go. Oh, the link's already done. We're done. We're out of here. Uh-oh, not good. All right, here we go. Prospecting is a push. Sales is a pull. Can you write this down? That means whenever you're trying to get somebody to one of your calls, you're pushing them to your call. You are not talking about like, oh, why didn't they do something in the past? You're not trying to have a conversation with them. You're pushing them in. If my salespeople are on this conversation right now, are on this, when you guys were at the event, what did I tell you guys? Don't network with people. They said, well, what do you mean? See, the thunder was just like spot on. I said, stop networking with people. I said, you're in sales. Salespeople don't network. He said, what? Dude, my mentor told me that's, what do you mean? I said, dude, if you're good at sales, only the person that's weak wastes the time networking. The person that's strong does what? Figures out what the person needs, grabs the contact information and runs. They don't stay and talk about cats and dogs. There's too many people here. If you start talking about cats and dogs, first of all, you're not interesting. Number two, you're not a good problem solver. You can't get to the problem quick enough. Hey, dude, I think I could serve you. I'm super busy right now. Give me your contact information. I got to run. Just take the number and run. Solve people's problems. That's how millions are made inside of life. Stop networking. Stop having conversations with people. Broke people network. They network. And I know somebody's going to say, well, no, man. Why do I want to spend my time networking when I can spend my time making a fucking Instagram video and closing people that like that video? You think I'm going to spend time networking? Dude, why would I go to people and try to generate interest when I can market and promote first, see who's interested, and go for a sale and not network? Networking 99% of the time is a fucking waste. Building a brand and learning how to sell through that brand or putting out good marketing will always beat networking. People are going out there networking with people. You know it's BS. All right, let's keep going. I'm not going to get into that conversation. Do you guys know my pyramid of problems? Maybe you want to write that down. Okay, before we get into this, the pyramid of problems looks like this, okay? Here's the pyramid of problems. The pyramid of problems looks like this. This is how you're paid inside of life. I love pyramids, by the way, because everything works in a pyramid. You're paid in life on 3 different levels, okay? Level number 1 is personal problems. Level number 2 is customer problems. Level number 3 is team problems. That's my pyramid of problems. You are not paid in proportion to how good you are about talking about your product. You're paid in proportion to the problems that you can handle and solve. That's my pyramid of problems, I call it. Broke people, I'm not gonna say broke, I'll say average. Average people are $3,000 to $5,000. Why? Because they can't handle their own personal problems. That's it. It's a personal problem. They can't handle them inside of life. It's a $3,000 to $5,000 salary. If you don't believe me, just when you say this is where I'm at with problem solving, just look at what triggers you. If your coffee didn't have a sugar inside and that's what triggered you for the day, you're at $3,000 to $5,000 for the month. Why? If you can't solve your own problems inside of your head, you can't solve somebody else's problems. See, in sales, you make $5,000 plus a month because what? You can handle customers' objections, other people's problems. The average problem is the average income. Just remember that. The average problem is the average income. The pyramid of problems states this. Most people get offended when their steak came out medium rare. They can't solve their own problems. They make $3,000 to $5,000 every single month. That's the average problem. The next person that says, I can solve that problem, that doesn't trigger me, that person can solve somebody else's problem and deal with an objection when somebody says, no, thank you, I'm not interested. That person can deal with a customer's problem, level 2. That person makes $5,000 plus a month. Welcome to an above average sales rep. The third on the pyramid is the person that can solve, everything's a fucking pyramid, can solve their team's problems. And they can train their team how to solve somebody else's problems, team's problems. And when they can train their team how to handle somebody else's problems, they can make over $50,000 a month. This is the pyramid of wealth. It's the pyramid of problems. Personal problems, customer problems, team problems. That's it. All right. Today we're doing this one right now. I'm not doing this one with you guys. I'm doing this one, customer problems. How does everybody here make $5,000 plus a month? I am not dealing with team problems. I'm not dealing with personal problems. I'm right here in the middle today. The more effective I could deal with somebody's issue inside of their head, the better we could sell. Okay, let's go on here. All right, Steve, don't show the board yet. There's 3 major objections when we prospect. Write this down. You ready for this? No, thank you, I'm not interested. Send me over some information. And this one they never tell you. This is called the hidden objection. If you want to write this down, hidden objection is we tried something like this and it hasn't worked out, which basically means this. They don't tell you it that they're scared to do something like this. Their husband tried it, their aunts tried it, their uncles tried it. They don't believe in it. That's the unspoken one. That's the hidden one. The first ones are, I'm not interested, send me over some information, I'm too busy. I want you guys to write down the simplest formula and never forget this. Every single time I get a prospecting objection, a good negotiator never combats the objection. Write this down. You never combat the objection. So what do you guys remember from my convention? The 2 most powerful words in sales was? Because it's only 5 words to handle any single prospecting objection. It's called pushing the objection. Remember what I said? It's pushing. What are the 2 words? Oh, the chat is off. It's okay. Word number 1 was yes. Word number 2 was but. No, I'm kidding with you guys. It's not but. It's and, right? So any single time you get an objection, there's only 5 words. And the first 2 powerful inside of sales is yes and. Because the guy that can think of the end outcome, the gal that can think of the end outcome doesn't have anxiety agreeing with you and acknowledging it. Yes and. Yeah, I don't want to go to the park. Yes, and that's an interesting perspective. Yes and. Not yes, but we've never been to the park yet. It's just yes and. So it's yes and. This is how I deal with every single prospecting objection. Why? I'll never shoot myself in the foot to look like a dummy. Yes and that's exact reason. Or that's exactly why. Yes and that's exactly why. Any single objection that you guys get inside of sales, write this down, team. I don't have the money to do something like this. Yes, and 3, 4, 5. That's exactly why. I'm not interested to do something like this. Yes, and that's exactly why I reached out to you, because it'd be physically impossible to support you right now. You know what? Send me over some information. Yes, and that's exactly why I reached out to you, because I want to better understand what information I can put inside of email to see if this is going to better support you. We did something like this in the past and it didn't work out. Yes, and that's exactly why I reached out to you, because I want to better understand to see if we can even service and support you. You know what? I'm just not interested in something like this. Or I'm too busy. Call me back later. Yes, and that's exactly why I reached out to you, because we have a meeting in the next 30 minutes. I want to better understand that this is going to support you. Whatever they say to you, it's just 5 words inside of sales. Yes, and that's exactly why. So you never shoot yourself in the foot. Yes, and that's exactly why I reached out to you, by the way. The brain cannot continue to hear your defense, what you want to defend, if you disagree with them from the jump. If you disagree with them from the jump, they cannot continue to hear you in the end. So every single time I get an objection and it's early, even it's out of a sales conversation and it's early, and people say, just show me the price. Like, you know when you get that one where they're like, just show me the price. How much does something like this cost to sign up? Just show me the price. What do you think I say? I don't say, hey, by the way, the price of the program is $5,000. It sucks. I also don't say, hey, but I can't do that right now. I don't say but, because you're arguing with them. It sucks. All I said is yes. 5 words. Yes, and that's exactly why I wanted to ask you 1 or 2 quick questions. That way I can get you off the best investment possible for your situation, maybe better than everybody else. Does that sound fair? Yes. I wouldn't be able to get them off the best investment possible if I couldn't continue the conversation if I argued from them. 5 words. Yes, and that's exactly why I want to get on a conversation with you, ask you 1 or 2 quick questions. That way I can get you off the best price possible, better than everybody else. By the way, and I'm right back inside of it. Why? Because I gave them the option of control. Yes, and gives everybody the option of control. Move on to this. Let's keep going for a second. 3 major sales objections. I hope that helps you on the prospecting objections, but here's the 3 major sales objections. Today's like a serious training right now. This is like school, but on steroids. Here's the 3 major sales objections. And it's thundering, man. Man, I'm speeding right now, eh, Steve? Because I'm like, I don't want this thing to like burst off. Do you guys hear that? Can we turn on the chat? We need some fun right now. Tony, can you grab me some water, please? Thank you. Do we keep going? Put a yes in the chat. Thank you, sir. Do we keep going? Put a yes in the chat. Is the chat open, Steve? Oh, it's not open. Hey, let's see the first person that says yes. Nobody said yes and, see? Oh, maybe somebody said yes and. All right, yes and, let's keep it rolling. Don't ever say yes, but. Nope, we don't like buts. We like yes ands, okay? Maybe some of y'all like butts, but not in sales, okay? All right, let's keep going here. 3 sales objections that we get inside of sales. I need to think about it. I don't have the money, and I need to speak to my spouse and my business partner. This is what I want to focus with you guys on today. This is truly what I want to focus on with you guys today. So if we can talk about these 3 objections, I might get a layer deeper today. The first one, they say I need to think about it. The second one says I don't have the money. The third one says I need to speak to my spouse. Can I just ask you why? Why would somebody say I need to think about it after you present it to them? Because they don't have the perception of value. There's no perception of value. What is a close? A close is this, right? The 5 closing words is how soon do you want, right? How soon do you want, right? Those are the 5 X, Y, and Z. That's my 5 closing words, right? How soon do you want X, Y, and Z benefit? So let me put that into perspective. When the real estate agent is selling Daniel G, he doesn't say, hey man, so do you think this is the home that you want to move into? No, he says, how soon do you want to start hosting events to start making an extra $500,000 plus a month? I'm fucking closed, it's game over. You close me, I'm signing right now. He wouldn't be able to say, how soon do you want your perception of value if he didn't know what I wanted? And he didn't know what I needed, sorry. If he didn't know what I needed, he wouldn't be able to make the most effortless close. Do you want to know why sales is hard? Because nobody knows what their client needs. Nobody knows what their client needs. And if you can't label them with a problem, they will label themselves with what they want inside of life. Steve, turn off the chat. Let me say that again. If you can't label them with a problem, okay, if you can't label them with a problem, then they'll label themselves with what they want, and they don't know what they want, and that's why they're on a phone conversation. So when somebody says, I need to think about it, when somebody says, well, I just need some time to think about something like this, if you haven't labeled them with a problem, then there's no urgency. Your lack of urgency is their lack of urgency. The problem has to be deep enough that they feel like they're gonna lose something if they leave the call. So there was this 14-year-old kid at my event. I wanna give you guys a story. I think all extraordinarily well salespeople, they do one thing extraordinary. Their speed to an idea is like this, or sorry, their idea to action is like this, right? And you guys don't think this goes into objections, but it does. Because the speed in which you take action behind the scenes is the speed inside of the conversation. So everybody always laughs at me because everything that I do in my life is fast. I talk fast, I roll fast, like I'm boom, 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 fast. Everything's fast. If I'm on Amazon is 3 minutes, there's 75 orders getting done in 3 minutes. The Amazon delivery guy has a full-time job at my house. All my team laughs at me because when you walk inside of my house, there's about 45 packages of Amazon 24/7 sitting at my house, outside, every day, okay? And I don't even know what I order half the time. I'm just like, click. Half the time I'm sleeping. It's like 4 a.m. and I'm just ordering shit, right? And I told Jeff Bezos, listen, I think I'm your #1 customer on Amazon. He said, you think? I met the guy. I said, I think I'm your #1 customer. Really, you should check who spends the most on this Amazon thing. He said, you'd be surprised. I said, you'd be surprised. All right, man, can I have a selfie? I took a selfie with that guy in Bahamas. So here we go. I'm thinking to myself, why does everybody laugh at me that I'm on Amazon spending so much money. You know, there's only one thing that I care about inside of my life. It's time. The more time that I have, the more money that I make. That's what I care about inside of my life. I just care about time. I don't want to do anything that's going to take a ton amount of time. So I've programmed my whole life to get to the answer and the action quickly. Can you write that down? To get to the answer and the action quickly. So I hate working out. I hate running. I hate it. I genuinely fucking hate it just like you guys do. So let's just lay it out there. I don't like it. So what I have to do, I have to take time out of the equation. Because if time's in the equation, time makes you do what? Time is by the devil. The devil likes things to take a while. Because if it can take a while, he gets you to think. If he gets you to think, he can get you to doubt. Remember what I said at the convention. Time is not your friend. Time does not heal a broken heart. The answer is an action does. Because you guys, if I lay down and I think about going to the gym, you will not go to the gym. You're not programmed to think about going to the gym. You're programmed to think about eating junk food. I don't want to think. My brain is fucked. All right, so here we go. And you guys might think this is a joke. No, I've been studying Bob Proctor, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins since I was 14. And I know before that, I have still been programmed with a bunch of BS inside of my brain. And you think I want to think? Dude, all I want to do is get to the action fast, get to the problem fast. So since I hate working out, what do you think I do? I don't buy a gym membership. Why? Because I don't want to be fat. Well, but Daniel, a gym membership doesn't make you fat. Are you sure? Have you went inside of the gym? 99% of people that aren't at the unless you're at these fitness influencer workout gyms where everybody's there because they're a fitness online coach, man, not a lot of people have six-pack abs. You want to know why? It takes a while. It takes a long time. What does it take a long time? It takes a while for you to get to the gym. So half the people don't do it 7 days a week. It takes a while you're at the gym. So you don't have to have what? High intensity workouts, HIIT workouts. Everything takes a while. On the time frame from you to get to the gym, from where you're at to where you need to get to, that takes a while. What can you do in that time frame? You could think. The more you think, the more you doubt, the more you doubt, the more you don't go to the gym. What does Daniel G do? You must love running. I hate it. You know what I love? I love when the run's done. So you want to know what my secret to life is this? Since I hate going to the gym, put the running shoes by your bed when you wake up. And better yet, if you don't run because you tripped over them and you said, fuck it, I'm not running today, keep them at your bed. So when you go to bed, you stare at them and you say, okay, shit, let me go outside and go for the run because I didn't do my run today. It's just on my priority list, by the way, but I make idea to execution so small. But here's my theory. If I can get them on the sales call, I can get them closer towards a close. If I can get to the run, I could finish the 5 miles. All I got to do is commit to the first 5 minutes. So I'm with one of my friends last week, one of my reps. He says, I hate running. I said, me too. But I said, you can run a marathon in 3 months. He said, there's no way. I said, I just got to get you to run your first 5 minutes. He said, what do you mean? I said, dude, the secret's in the first 5 minutes. It's not in the 50 miles. Anybody can run 50 miles, dude. Nobody can run the 5 minutes every single day, 7 days a week. Everybody can run the 50 miles. What? He's like, what do you mean? I said, bro, I promise you, if your brain is programmed to go out there and just commit to the first 5 minutes, when you're out there, you'll do another 5 if you go slow enough. When you're out there, I said life is the perfect balance, speed to execution, and when you're executing it, do it for a marathon. Most people can't get to the execution part. They can't get to the run. I promise you, if you commit 5 minutes to your next run tomorrow, out of everything that I said, I know this is an objection handling webinar, I will convince 500 people to run tomorrow. I promise you, if you do this to me, take a selfie and I will change your life. All of you guys hate running. I know you guys hate running. We would all love to run. We all want to be fit. We all want to look better. Tomorrow morning, commit to 5 minutes at the slowest pace possible of your life. Do you know why people hate running? Because they try to commit to a mile. Don't commit to a mile. Commit to 5 minutes and commit to the slowest run of your life, like this pace. Ready? Follow me, Tony. You ready? You're not ready. I don't see your hand there. He's not ready. You ready? You'll do a marathon in 3 months. You won't understand it now. Just go slow as possible for 5 minutes. You'll end up running 7. The day you know you can run 15, just commit to 5. You'll end up running 15. Some days you'll feel like running it, but you just commit to the first step. Put the shoes, make sure you trip over your shoes before you go to bed at nighttime. They're right there. You wake up in the morning, you get on your knees, you pray to God, you put on your shoes. They're right there. When you get on your knees and you pray to God, after you're done doing that, because you have 5 minutes to get on your knees and pray to God, after you're done doing that, your shoes are right to the right of you. All right, Daniel G., we're at objection handling. Please tell me I need to think about it. No money. I need to speak to my spouse, right? My team's like, come on, dude. Are things going to get lightning and thunder over here? So I need to think about it. Let's start off with this objection first. I need to think about it. Here is my job. The first job is, I never said this before, so write this down. The first job is saying, I effed up. Because if you don't say that, you will never get better. I taught my sales team this last week. That doesn't mean you're done the conversation. You just better write, I messed up, right? Nobody says I need to think about it to something that's so irresistible. Can I say that again? Nobody says I need to think about it when the deal makes them win. They don't say I need to think about it, right? So you have to say, I messed up because I put together a bad deal. The perception of my deal and the positioning of it was bad. But I got to clean up my bad work that I just did on the sales call because I'm not going to quit. This is for after, right? You got to know that you fucked up. Because if somebody's telling you to become an objection handling monster and you're not getting better at positioning your product, then you could be the best objection handler in the world, but why would you want to deal with I need to think about it 24/7? So this is what I say. When somebody says, I need to think about it, the first question I do, or the first thing I say is, yes, and. You can also say my 5 words, by the way, if you that's exactly why. 5 words, right? Yes, and that's exactly why. Yes, and that's exactly why we're on the call, so I can give you all the information you have so you could take your time to think about it, so you can make a proper educated decision. Yes, and that's the exact reason why we're on the call. Yes, exactly why I wanted to have a phone call with you. That way you're thinking about the right information. Yes, and that's exactly why. That way you could take home the right information. Don't disagree with them. What did I say? Amateurs fight it. Professionals get back inside of the know. World-class salespeople get inside of the know and then handle the no. Yes, and that's exactly why I wanted to get on the phone call with you, so you have the proper information to think about so you can make an educated, informed decision. Stop. Write it down. Yes, and that's exactly why. Step number 2, the moment they say, I need to think about it, I fucked up, shit, I put together a bad offer. Number 2, I gotta put together a better offer. That's all I'm thinking about is on this phone call, I gotta put together a better offer. I'm not thinking about like, oh, I gotta follow up with them. All I'm thinking about is give me the chance to put together another phone call. Give me 3 minutes. I'm fighting now for another 3 minutes. That's all I'm fighting for. I'm asking in my head for another 3 to 5 minutes to put together another offer. But you can't get the 3 to 5 minutes if you combat with them. That's why I say yes, and that's exactly why. So I'm selling the what? That they can leave, so I get my 3 to 5 minutes. Because if they don't know they can leave, I don't get my 3 to 5 minutes. So I gotta make sure that they know they can leave so they can get their what? Their 3 to 5 minutes right here, okay? So, yes, and that's exactly why. The moment I say yes, and that's exactly why, then I'm gonna say, by the way, Margaret, this is called breaking tension. You can write this down. Again, this was a masterclass. This wasn't some freaking webinar where it's like, hi, my name's Daniel G. This is a masterclass. This is what you call a masterclass on sales on a Saturday because I love the game. This is the sport. It's called breaking tension. You ready for this? Write that down. Break tension in the objection. Nobody talks about this. We're talking about it today. First thing you're gonna say in your head, I fucking messed up. I need 3 to 5 minutes more with this person. Give me 3 to 5 minutes more. The second thing you're gonna say, yes, and Tony, that's exactly why I wanted to have a phone call with you. That way I can give you the right information so you can make an informed and educated decision. By the way, Tony, when people tell me I need to think about it, do you want me to give you like 3 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes? I'm just playing with you. Break the tension. You want me to just mute myself for 30 seconds so you could take a, no, I'm just playing with you. Do something. I don't know, but you got to come inside of your script where you got to break the tension. Why? Objections have a lot of tension. Stop listening to your mentor where they tell you to go right inside of the objection. Objections have tension. When they talk about money, when they talk about thinking about, when they talk about research, their shoulders go up. You got to craft something inside of your sales pitch that is going to make them break the tension So you get a little bit loose with them because the moment they think you care too much about the sale, they don't want to give you the sale anymore. So you got to break the tension. I tell my salespeople, this is not hard to do. You can just ask ChatGPT, what's another joke other than Daniel's joke when somebody says, I need to think about it? Do you want 3 seconds, 30 seconds, or 3 minutes? I'll mute myself. I'm going to go have a banana. I'll come back. I'm playing with you, Margaret. Does about a week sound good? I'm fine. It's like when somebody says, yeah, I want to get started. I still don't accept their money. Why? Because I think money has a lot of tension. So I say, hey, by the way, it's super unfortunate, but our credit card processor has broken. The only way that we're allowed to onboard students is in gold, because I think gold right now is going to skyrocket in the next year with AI. Is there a way you could fly in about a kilo of gold for our mastermind program? I'm just playing with you. How do you usually join? Do you do Visa or MasterCard? I'm playing with you. By the way, say whatever you want. You want to know why? You won't fuck up somebody that has the perception of the win. You will only fuck up the deal when they still feel like they're not winning. When I know I won, it's already over. I told you guys my story when I had the interview at the American Embassy when I was going through. I said the deal has been won in the first 5-10 minutes of the conversation, not in the end. Once I know I got you, it's over. You're in my pocket, it's game over. I can say whatever I want. I'm not screwing it up. If I screw it up, I got to get back inside of the sale. Somebody put an Ecuadorian or a Colombian flag. So what do I mean by that? Remember when I went to the American Embassy interview and they said I had to go in 3 months ago or 2 months ago because I'm Canadian. I just got my new visa reinstated back to me. And when I went, my lawyer's telling me all these questions that I got to talk about. And then he said, Daniel, just act like Daniel G. So I went to the front girl. My eyes, I was a born direct sales rep and network marketer. I don't know if you guys know that. I was born into network marketing. Maybe some of you guys don't know that. At the age of 9, I started network marketing. I was under my grandmother's pyramid without getting paid. It's very sad. That's when you're under a true pyramid, right? I was in a pyramid without getting paid. Why? Because I was selling Avon and I wasn't getting a commission. It was insane. And then when I was 14, at least I joined a pyramid and I was getting paid to recruit people. Before, I was selling my nunna's products, and my grandmother was giving me pajamas in December. And I was slinging like $3,000 a year in makeup, hair products, pajamas, jewelry, you name it. I slinged it in my high school. Slinged it in elementary school. Lady was like, oh yeah, my mother, what's your mother's name? What time is she coming to pick you up from school? Boom, give her off the brochure. So I'm 14 years old. I started inside of a network marketing company, and I realized the most powerful thing that you will ever have on you is the eyes to scan people. And when my mentor told me that, he's like, dude, the scanners are the millionaires inside of business. They scan during conversations. They scan when they're at the grocery store. I'm like, what? He's like, you could just scan people. And when you scan people, you're going to think about what's the easiest way to break down that person, get them laughing, give them a compliment. You got to learn how to scan people fast. He's like, there's people that walk in life and they get scanned. He's like, Daniel, there's other people that walk in life and they scan other people. I'm like, ooh, I like that. He's like, some people just walk around in life. Some people are just scanning people. If I had to prospect that person, how would I break it down? You're on 24/7. So I'm a scanner naturally by art. I started recruiting people at 14 and a half. So I'm going through the interview process. There's 8 CBP officers in Canada. I need to do my interview to get my visa back. I go to the first officer because my brain is just scanned. I'm like, compliment, 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 compliments. What can I do? What can I do here? What can I do here? I just see this lady with these long nails. I don't know how I see them, team. I'm 20 feet away. I see these nails that poke out an extra inch. I'm like, boom, I got this. I'm going up to her. I'm like, first of all, I'm headed into America, but first of all, those are insane nails. I love them. Can I take a picture of them or is that illegal? Because I want to send them to my mom. She's like, no, you could do it. I said, the interview process is done. She's like, oh, thank you so much. No, take a picture. I'm like, I'm getting in. I'm back in. I swear, I wanted to start saying, living in America. I wanted to start singing in front of her because that's what was going on in my head. And I said it to you guys at the convention. Remember, I said, the sale doesn't happen when you exchange the money. The sale happens when the tension is down. And by the way, of course, I couldn't find a need and a problem from her. That's not my job. The job was to stay loose. The job wasn't to look weird. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, have a good, I think it was like 1 minute. My lawyer's like, so was it like a 4-hour interview? I'm like, dude, it was like 4 minutes. She asked me, what do I do for a living? I said, my visa is the same as before. I said, I'm a singer. You can classify me like Drake. I said, no, I'm just joking with you. I said, I do da 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 da. Some of you guys don't know that I'm born Canadian, and I was waiting on a different visa so we can operate our events that we wanted to operate inside of the States. So we were waiting on a speaking visa. It was a little bit different. So it was called an O1A visa. And we weren't basically able to host the events that we wanted to host out. So God bless America and all the other countries in the world. How did I do it? I broke tension. I realized that in life, you got to break tension. Break tension so you can earn your next question. You can earn your next sentence. You ready for it? I need to think about it. All you got to do is, I fucked up in my head. I didn't position this right, but I can earn another 3 to 5 minutes. I'm just gonna say, yes, and Margaret, that's exactly why I wanted to have a phone call with you. I just wanted to better understand where you're at right now with your health. That way I could put together a good game plan for you. So when you're thinking about something like this, you know exactly what we did for the mother of 3 like yourself. Do you need like 3 seconds? Do you want 3 minutes? I could just, no, I'm just joking with you. Do you want to take about a week before we have another conversation? Is a week good? Here's what I do when somebody says I need to think about it. I literally open up my agenda because whatever I do physically is gonna match my tonality on the phone call. So I'm like, give me 1 second, Margaret. And I literally do this. You ready for this? I go like this. I say, give me 1 second, okay? I'm opening my agenda right now. Give me a second, agenda. If you guys don't do this, you'll never deal with the objection. I'm opening my agenda right now. Do me a favor, at 7 p.m. next Monday, I'm gonna shoot you over a text message. Maybe we'll have a 3-minute call, potentially. I start scheduling in a call that's never about to happen. I say, I wanna have a 1-minute phone call with you to see if there's anything better I can get you off on that phone call. If not, I'm gonna cancel it probably on Friday. This is like the advanced level that people are gonna get in the next program. This is the advanced level. Because why? I'm selling the exit so hard, man. You guys are getting this right now. This is the Daniel G way of selling the exit. Some people are like, okay, cool, so let's take about a week. And by the way, in the meantime, no, you gotta sell it. I'm opening up my agenda right now. Take the words. I'm clicking on my agenda. Next Monday, I'm gonna put in my agenda, if it's cool with you, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just like today, for about, I'll put literally a 5-minute phone call. I'm gonna put together something, and if I don't feel like it's better for your situation right now, I'm gonna cancel over the meeting by Friday if I don't have something that can be directed towards your situation. Does that sound cool? 5 minutes on, yeah, okay, perfect, awesome. And by the way, in the meantime, Caroline, let me ask you a question. When I send over that confirmation, I wanna know for the next call, if I'm gonna put together a game plan for you, what do you need to see that you didn't see today that you were still a little bit hesitant on? And then it's my 3 Ps. Can you guys see that? It's price, program, process. Price, product, process. Price, product, process. Price, product, process. Hey, were you still a little bit more concerned about the return on investment, the price? Were you still a little bit more about actually if the product's gonna work out for you? Or the process of integrating it inside of your situation that you have going on right now? Like you were scared that this wouldn't work out for your current lifestyle. That way, I could put together a game plan even beforehand and I could just send you over an email. So all I'm doing right now is I'm trying to figure out, hey, by the way, where are these people's concerns still at? While, once they answer that objection, what do you think I'm doing? Yeah, you know, it's a little bit about the price. I don't care what they say. You wanna know why? I know I still gotta go back in there, find another need, and position the product one more time. What I go do there is I go do this. I re-question, I represent, and I reclose. That's stage 5. Because if I can get them to answer one of these 3, well, yeah, you know, I'm just scared. I don't have the time to do some of this. Hey, completely understand. I re-question, I represent, I reclose. I'm just trying to get back inside of the conversation. I re-question, I represent, I reclose. Because if you don't do that, you're still a professional. You just sold the exit so you could pull them back in. I re-question, I represent, I reclose. And when I re-question, I want you guys to write this down. When I re-question somebody, I re-question them based on their current interest of even jumping on a phone call. So I'm gonna give you guys a little tidbit here. I had a cold calling script. Take this in for a second. I don't know if you guys know, but on stage, I had this program that I launched. And it was the first time I launched something that wasn't like, it wasn't just sales. Hundreds of people got inside. By the way, we start on the 3rd. I'll talk about it in a second. I told my team, guys, call every single person that showed up to convention, right? They're like, okay, here's the script. Call everybody. Anybody that remotely makes over $300 a month, I want them here right now. It was like my ultimate mastermind fucking program that is like $300,000, and it was for pennies. So what starts to happen? I'm in the office. My office is full of salespeople. Virtually everybody's on the phone, right? We're doing the right process. We're talking to everybody. And I hear everybody. Hey, how's it going, Margaret? I'm doing good. Hey, did you come out to Daniel G's convention? Yes, I did. Nice. What did you like best? Now it's in the script. They're doing their job. And then they're like, well, I like this, and this. Nice, so what do you do for a living? And then they start asking, what do they do for a living? Nice, so how much money are you making? And then they started asking how much money they're making. Guys, this is good. Here's gonna be some good sauce for you guys. This was we call them snaps. Daniel G does these snaps in the office, okay? So I'm just like, it's like a Wednesday, maybe at 9 p.m., everybody's selling, boom! I just get on fire. Everything goes dark, the lights just go off, and I snap for an hour. And it's a good snap, because my salespeople are like, ooh, he's about to shake us right now. Like, give it. They're not scared. They're like, fuck, man, I've been screwing up, give it to me, because they want to make more money. So the moment the lights go off, I say, Steve, turn off the lights. The AC all shuts off, it gets hot. It's like hot yoga in here right now. I go in there and I say, guys, turn it all off. I said, what's the #1 rule of sales? To put together a deal. I'm like, the person that gets to the problem fastest is the person that closes the deal fastest, right? Yes. I said, listen, did you give them a cold call? They said yes. I said, were they expecting your cold call? They said no. I said, okay, perfect. Ready for this? I said, so why are you having a 20-minute conversation with them? Solve their problem fast. They said, what do you mean? I said, give me your next lead. They called the next lead. Her name, I can't remember her name. I think it was Cheryl. Cheryl! Hey, how's it going? Who's this? Cheryl, it's Chris. I'm calling side by side with Daniel G. It's not Chris, it's Daniel G. Hey, it's Chris. I try to do a deeper voice. I'm like, hey, it's Chris. He's like, oh, hi, Chris, how are you? Cheryl, hey, listen, I said, Daniel wanted us to call everybody that came out to the event. He's a curious individual, so he wants some like surveying and data as to why people would just show up to a freaking boring sales event. And I see that you're from Nashville. So why the heck did you show up from Nashville to Miami to join a sales convention? Because like there was only a couple thousand people there and he has 7 million followers. So what was so special as to why you booked the travel? We're trying to get some data and feedback here. Dude, the customers just started talking about the problem right away. I just got right into it. Right away. I'm like, do you guys see how easy that was? I said, your job is to get inside of like, stop doing all this stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe the script was designed to give you guys the fundamentals, but how quickly can you get to the problem? Let me keep going with this. Tony, get me a book, please. Get me a book. Get me a book. One of those books. Throw me one of my books here, okay? Give the book away. Let's just give some books away on this chat. We'll give about 10 books away today. There's a book here. Now, I want you guys to vibe out with me for a second. This is a book. Daniel G wrote this book, okay? It's the fundamentals of selling. It's not advanced. It's the fundamentals of selling, okay? There's this book here. By the way, we just reprinted another 10,000 copies, so thank me later. There's a book here, and nobody downloads a sales book for no freaking reason. Nobody likes your reel about business for no reason. Nobody picks up a phone call if you're a real estate agent, an insurance broker, a network marketer for no reason. Nobody just does nothing for no reason, okay? Here's the two things that I tell my team. You hit their algorithm for a reason, and they like and commented or downloaded the book for a reason. Something's fucked up inside of their life. A salesperson always has a reason to sell. A broke person always has an excuse not to sell it. You know what one guy said to me? This was 2 weeks ago. Dude, I want warm booked calendar leads. I said, get the fuck out of sales. If somebody downloads a book, name, email, and phone number, they don't just download a book because they want to see what's in Daniel G's book. They want to make more money inside of sales. Nobody's on this webinar because they're just like, oh, I'm not doing nothing on a Saturday. You're like, yo, make me more money. That's at least what I think. And I do extraordinarily well at sales because my brain is always like, people just want to make more. Do I got to entertain them in the process? Yes, but people want to make more money. Who do you think doesn't sell? The person that always says, well, you know, they said they didn't have money. Dude, they were on the call because they wanted to make money. Nobody downloads the sales game, Bob, and is just interested in learning a little bit more about sales. They're interested to prospect more people, close more people, and make more money. They're not interested in learning sales. They're interested to prospect more people. You got to figure out why they fucking downloaded the book. This is the warmest lead possible. If somebody likes my Instagram video about dealing with an objection and there's 700 likes, that's 700 sales. And then somebody's asking me, can I join your sales team? Why didn't you sell the 700 people that already liked my objection handling video? You think my mother's just scrolling through Instagram liking the objection handling video? My mother likes the video when I'm like, work harder. She likes those videos. That's what my mother likes. I don't gotta hit it. My mother likes the one where she's like, ooh, Daniel, yell at everybody. But nobody just likes a follow-up video. Here are 5 ways to follow up with somebody in 50 seconds. Number 1, thank them right after the meeting. Number 2, ask them for permission. Number 3, give them a new idea. Number 4, kick them out. Number 5, follow it on January 1st. Double tap. My mom doesn't double tap that. My salespeople, oh, now I'm having a sales meeting today. My salespeople don't need leads. They're all on my Instagram. They're all there. Hey, it's Jenna. I'm reaching out from Daniel G. I see that you liked this follow-up video. By the way, when's the last time you got ghosted? I just want to bet on it. All the money's sitting already inside of your inbox. Now, great entrepreneurs don't need the resources. They're just resourceful. Team, we spend so much time, I promise you this, with inside of our head selling ourselves out that people aren't interested in our program. They're interested. They don't want to think about it. They're on a phone call with you for 30 minutes. We just got to get back into the re-question, the re-close. So 5 steps again, if they say that they don't have the money, okay? Or they need to think about it. First thing I said is I effed up. I messed up somewhere, but we'll talk about that later. Second thing I say, yes, and that's exactly why, Margaret, we're on a phone call. I don't think I'd be on a phone call with you if you had all the money in the world left over to do what you needed to do. Does that make sense? Yes. Like I'm on a phone call with you, so we're not in the same position a year and a half down the road. And by the way, Margaret, who's ultimately responsible for making sure that your situation changes the next year and a half down the road? Me. Okay, awesome. In the meantime, from now until you get paid, let me ask you a question, because this is the first step of responsibility. What do you think you need to see in order for you not to be skeptical? So whenever you do get paid, you have the right information and this is the right program for you. What do you need to see? Do you need to see a little bit more about the return on investment, a little bit more about the process, or a little bit more about the process within itself? Do you guys see what I did there, by the way? I already have, I guess you guys can see like my process is already set up that I'm leading them down a funnel. I know this is where this is already going. If somebody says they don't have the money, that's exactly why we're on a phone call right now. What we've done inside of our organization is we contacted every single individual that we know we can support and help them make a little bit more money, whether it's today or it's a year down the road. So whenever you do find the financing to invest in a program like this, or we can help you for free on our social media, I just want to make sure we have the right offer in place for you. Let me ask you a question. After everything that you just saw, what do you feel right now you're still a little bit skeptical about? Was it a little bit about the return on investment? Was it a little bit more about the actual product within itself, or was it a little bit about the process of what you're currently doing and you don't think it can fit in with your lifestyle? Get back inside of it. That's it. Don't fight the objection. You can get back inside of it using yes and. Remember, people just need to know that you're at an equal playing field with them. Steve, do you have those slides from, actually no, that's fine. All right, let's keep going here. Follow up barriers. Wait, Steve, I need some engagement in the chat. I know people are sleeping right now. I know some people are sleeping. Oh, we should open the Zoom room up, or should we just leave it closed? Tony, can you grab me another water, please? Thank you. Is this helpful, or should we just stop it? Yes? Should I stop it, or should we keep going? Yes, no, yes? Hey, just so you guys know, Tony, come here. Tony lost a bet today. Tony lost a bet today.
Yeah, shift 0.
Not zero, but it's looking good.
Oh, yeah.
It's looking good. Hopefully I don't lose a bet. Y'all don't want to see me balled out here, okay? I want to book Daniel G. Very hot in here. All right, here we go. So, follow-up barriers. How many people here have tried to reattempt 4 to 5 times? Steve, let's turn off the chat for a sec. Let's get back on board here. All right, how many people here have tried to keep closing and then people go into follow-up mode and you got to follow up with an individual? I want to write this down. There's 2 types of people that you got to follow up with. The one that doesn't reply and the one that's replying but being vague. So when they don't reply, they've gone silent. When they reply but they're vague, right? They're like, yes, let me look at the information. They're replying to you. They haven't gone full silent. And that one's actually, I'm telling you guys, that one is a lot more deadly than the ghost. So you guys probably can qualify both of your follow-up people into 2 sequences. The one that completely vanishes, I love that one, by the way. Why, dude? Shoot me now. Break my heart now. The other one is like this one. You ready for this one? Hey, sorry, I was just super busy. Let me take a look at it tonight. And you're like, right? So both of these ones, I don't try to think of prospect first. I think of me first. Because remember the sales game, you guys know my sales game formula, right? It's strategies like today. Then it's the prospect, how they buy second, right? So it's strategies. And then number 1 is you. So it's you, how they buy, and the strategies to use. Before I think about how they buy and the strategies to use, I think about me. I think about to myself, I'm like, okay, what made me on the first one made me get into follow-up number 1? And did I give them the permission that follow-up was okay? So I'm gonna tell you guys something. This is so important. Do you guys know we actually give the permission for clients to break our hearts for over the next year? That was us. That's not our client's fault. It's our fault. Why? Because we didn't draw a barrier. Imagine, and I don't want you to get too advanced, but imagine this. Imagine follow-up wasn't part of your business. Now, I know you have to because you're a realtor, you're an insurance rep, you're a network marketer. I get it. We all follow up. But imagine it's something that wasn't part of your business. Imagine you just didn't do it. Like you just didn't do it. Why? Because you don't fucking like it. Am I right or am I right? You hate it. Do you hate following up? Yes. I don't like it. Do you like chasing people for money? No. Why? Because it's annoying. It doesn't feel good for you and it doesn't feel good for them. So why do we do tasks inside a business that we hate? Have you ever sent the link off to somebody and then they were ready to buy, you sent it off to them, you got off speakerphone and then they just disappeared? That's not their fault. You invited them to ghost you. That's my fault. Guys, I'm not yelling, I'm yelling at all of us right now, including myself, that just 3 weeks ago, I sent off a contract for a speaking event. I can't remember it was in January. And I sent off the contract because the deal came into me. It didn't go into my office. It came into me. It was a warm network. I sent out the contract. It was like $60,000. The contract today is still not signed and still not paid. Now that doesn't happen with me, but I lost sleep last night. Why? Because I said, why are you such a dummy? Who does that without a payment on the phone, a signature on the phone? Now, some of you guys would be like, yeah, in a perfect world. Well, yeah, then why did I had a conversation with somebody that either wasn't the decision maker or I didn't get down to the nooks and crannies on the phone call that now went into follow-up. I don't do that. My sales team does that, but I don't do that. Why? I don't like following up. If I'm following up with somebody, that means they're not ready to make a decision or they're not the decision maker. That's my fault. Why do I have an hour and a half of conversation with somebody that can't stroke the fucking check? What? That's my problem. That's not my customer's problem. That's a lack of me. And that's Daniel G telling you guys the best sales trainer in the world is telling you guys I make mistakes by trying to say, thinking in my head, if I follow up with this person, I got a better shot at it than figuring out the wrong shit on the phone call. No, it was my fault in the beginning of the call. So why am I telling you guys this? Because I think in the beginning of the call or at the end of the call, if you open up the window for follow-up, you're opening yourself up for a heartbreak. Because what happens, what I do in an ideal scenario is saying, hey, Jake, by the way, you don't want me to follow up with you on a Saturday. I don't want to follow up with you. So let's just figure this out right now. Because last thing that I want to do, dude, is sit down, write up a contract, and go back and forth with each other. Are you the person that signs off on something like this? This is before I even give them the price, whatever it is. I ask them, hey, by the way, who's the decision maker? I should have got that before the phone call. And by the way, when they ask me, hey, can you send over the paperwork? I'm saying, yeah, it's already getting done right now because I have a system that can create the contract in 5 seconds. So I'm sending over the paperwork. You guys should have links in 2 seconds, right? Yeah, it's getting done right now. Name, email, phone number. Oh yeah, but we'll look at it like on the weekend. Oh, no, dude, I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm gonna plan out my agenda tonight. We're on a phone call tonight. I respect the agenda. The last thing that I wanna do is contact you on a Saturday, and you wanna know why? Because you don't want me to call you on a Saturday. You wanna enjoy your time on a jet ski with your kids on the beach on a Saturday. Last thing that you want is Daniel G being like, hey, Bill, did you get the contract in? What do we gotta do today in order to get it done today? Now, do you know what my sales team thinks? That's gonna lose them deals. No, you know what loses you deals? When you're easy in the beginning and then it becomes hard in the end. When you're hard today, you have an easier future tomorrow. When you qualify hard, you close easier. When I don't want to do follow-up, I just tell my client, and I'm very intentful. The art of persuasion is get them interested and give them your intent. Those are the 2 ways you can influence and persuade anybody. Get them interested and always tell them your intention. Get them interested, tell them your intention. Am I lying to you? I would be lying to you if I said I want to follow up with you on Saturday. But Daniel G, I just sell health shakes. Good. When they say they need to think about it, go through the whole process. Or when they say send me over the link and I'll pay it tonight, be like, oh, no. Tonight, we're actually doing an onboarding call with all our new health providers and all the people that join our business. The last thing that I want to do is stop that call and stop servicing people. Majority of my time from this time to that time is completely spent on service, right? And obviously you don't want me like messaging you back. What do we need to do right now? That way, or what do you need to see, or what do we need to do? That way I can best support you right now. We can get you rocking and rolling so I could spend my time actually servicing the clients and yourself inside of the program. Last thing that you want is me following up with you. I'm intentful saying I don't want to do this shit. I want to spend time servicing my students. I want to spend time creating content. I want to spend time, helping out everybody. I don't want to spend time following up. So write this down. I'm not going to teach you guys how to follow up today, but follow-ups come from a lack of intention, from a lack of interest. And by the way, even if you have a follow-up meeting, it has to be super intentional. You have to know what's coming out from it. They got to be interested, and it has to be intentful. Write that down. They got to be interested, and it has to be intentful. Every single cold call, the 2 ingredients to a cold call is interest and intent. You got to get them interested. Margaret, who's this? Hey, it's Daniel G. Listen, I'm just sitting down right now. I was looking at your file. I'm calling some people right now that had problems with X, Y, Z. I got to shoot you over an email about it. Now you're interested. You see, I'm creating interest. That way I can see if our firm can actually support you. By the way, let me ask you one quick question before I shoot you off that email. And then boom, I'm right into it. And I'm intentful. That's the way I can see if my firm can actually support you with buying a new home. Hey, let me ask, and I'm right into it. This, I got you interested. Number 2, here's my intent. Then I get inside of the questions. Same with follow-up. Ready for this? Follow-up barriers. Get them interested. You got to get them interested. And you got to be very intentful. The way I look at follow-up is this. There's a sea of salespeople. Who's going to be the most interested or interesting, and who's going to be the most intentful wins? Intentions, right? Remember my story about the CEO when I said there was a CEO that got on a phone call with me and he said, how are you doing today? And I said, I'm doing good. I need another $250,000 by the end of tomorrow so I could put a down deposit at this $25 million house. And he started laughing. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, after I help you make an extra $50 million, if we can find 2 to 3 leaks, you'll pay me over $250,000. I'm looking at a beautiful home here in Star Island. So let me ask you a question, Bob. And he started laughing. My intent was what? I'm gonna come inside of your sales organization. I'm gonna make you an extra $50 million because I know there's 2 to 3 leaks happening right now, or you don't hit up Daniel G. And in terms, you're gonna give me a nice paycheck. Where was the hidden agenda? There was no hidden agenda. You wanna know why? Because that's exactly what he wants. He wants $50 million. He doesn't give a shit about the $250,000 check that he's gonna pay me. He cares about the $50 million problem that he's gonna solve. Now, that's not what you're gonna do on your sales calls, but why can't people just be intentful? Do you know how high of an do you guys know, I believe in energy, some of you guys don't. But I believe secrets are at the lowest frequency of the energy scale. I hate do you guys not feel that when you're around people and they're whispering, does that shift your energy at all? When you've ever been around somebody, does it not shift your energy when somebody's acting a little bit off? Okay. I believe intent is on a very high quadrant of the frequency scale. Very high. That's like service, that like intention. When you can feel somebody's intention, you're like, wow. I look at sales like almost like I zoom out from all the BS. And I look at people when they're like, you know, when you're on a phone call with people, use a tonality that's like, you're very like concerned and you're like, hi, how you doing? And you're kind of thinking to yourself, you're like, man, why is this guy doing this? Why is this gal sounding like that? Why doesn't she just sound normal? Like we're having a good conversation, like she's trying to figure it out, trying to figure out if she can help me. Why is this person sounding all secretive? What's with all these tricks? Why can't people just be intentful? You think you're gonna lose because your authenticity is at a high level? You think you're gonna lose sales? That's who wins sales. I'm empowering you guys to be intentful. Have you ever got the objection, because today we're on objections, where people said, how much do you make, or how much commissions do you make? How much do you make? I don't know, one of my students said, somebody asked me once, how much do you make from the sale? Maybe you guys ever got that. I said, don't lie to them. Hey, by the way, yes, I actually do. I get directly compensated from helping you get XYZ. However, that's not my end goal. And I said, if you ever want to close people, the best objection handler is the highest intentful person. Here's my goal with you, Margaret. I sell you these health products. In the first 15 days, I get data and feedback. In the first 30 days, I see XYZ results. In those 30 days, I call you back up and I want one thing from you. I want one referral from you. The only way I get really rich and I make a lot of money is not when one person is on my products, it's when I have tens of thousands of people getting results. My intent is to bring you on board, get your results over the next 90 days, so you don't just give me one person, you give me 100. And after I can help thousands of people, yes, I will live a great life to myself as well, just like everybody else. This is what I need to do. I need to deliver these results to you first, so you keep buying from me for a lifetime and you give me a lot of business second. You promise me? Yes. A person last week, they asked on the sales call, they said on the sales call last week, I said, hey, listen, your $5,000 that you're paying to get inside of our program right now, that is not gonna make me rich, Jenna. She's like, what do you mean? I said, I promise you, I do not become rich off $5,000. My expenses are more than $5,000 a month. They're 108, what was it last month? 185,000. This month, because there was a convention, it was probably 1.2 million. I said, $5,000 is not gonna make me rich. I said, you wanna know what's gonna make me rich? A good fucking program that you make money off of, so you bring me another 3, and then, by the way, your testimonial can hit another 3, and I do that 10,000 times. That's what's gonna make me rich. I just wanna let you know that's my intention. And I promise you, when you come inside of our program in the first 15 days, if you didn't think this was better than any single sales program, here's my direct number. That's gonna make me rich, creating the best program in life. Our product is what's gonna make us rich when people are aware about our product, but we cannot get our product aware unless we get results for people. So by the way, here's what I suggest. Call me back, and like I'm giving you the intention here of what I'm doing. She's like, oh, this is real. And I just get right back into the sale. Handling an objection, by the way, when you figure out what somebody needs, you can keep intent at the forefront of the conversation. I'm gonna get back into follow-up. By the way, team, let me give you a snapshot. I want you guys to think of this for a second. There's no way. It's already 5:40. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. I feel like I'm just getting started tonight. Let me give you guys a snapshot of how sales training works, okay? Do you guys understand? Imagine somebody makes $500 per commission per sale. There might be somebody here that makes $500 per sale, and you make 10 sales a month. Your current income is $5,000 a month. If you got 10% better at closing people, by the way, do you know your income would go to $6,000 a month? Just 10% better? 10% better, your income. Why? Because you make an extra sale every single month. You would make $6,000 a month. You would make an extra $6,000 if you got 10% better inside of sales. That's it. It's so simple. Oh, by the way, if you got 10% better at prospecting people to get them on your phone calls, you would actually make, by the way, an extra, $2,000 a month. You know what people focus on? They focus on trying to become 100% better. And that's why nobody increases their income. So I have this theory inside of life, and let me give it to you guys one more time. It's vision, operation, and change. My first vision is, how can I get 10% better? How can I go for the run for 5 minutes? 10% better, man, can get me to an extra $2,000 a month. Do you know why nobody hits the $1 million a month? Because they don't know how to repeat their best day, or they don't know how to incrementally move. They don't know how to take their best day and repeat it once. Everybody wants $100,000 a month. Nobody says my goal is to repeat my best day. Do you know there's two things? It's vision, write this down, vision, operation. I know a little repeat for the people that were at my convention, vision, operation, and change. But here's what I didn't repeat. Do you know a goal, write this down, a goal has two things in order for you to hit a goal. It needs your heart and it needs your mind. And you're like, oh, yo, Daniel, it needs your heart and your mind. Write this down. Your goal needs your heart, which is your passion and your emotion and your frequency. And it needs your mind, which is your logic. Now, I'm gonna tell you two things. Watch this, stick with me. Stick with me. If your goal is to make $10,000 a month, right? Your goal is to make $10,000 a month. And that's constantly been your goal. Maybe somebody on this call, their goal is to make $100,000 a month. That's constantly been your goal, $100,000 a month. Okay, great. The question is, why do people never hit their goals? Because these two things that hit your goal, which is logic, your strategy, this, which is your work ethic, they don't work in synchronicity. Follow me for a second. Stay here. Stay with me, team. This is the heart. This is the brain. This is the mind. I should have put mind here, okay? This is the mind. This is the heart. These two things need to work in perfect alignment towards a goal in order to achieve it. Here's the problem. This is a piece of paper. This is your sheet of paper that you go to bed at every nighttime, and you write $100,000 on this piece of paper. Your heart and your brain stare at this every single night. And here's what happens. You don't hit it on month 1, you write it again in month 2, $100,000. Stick with me, team. I never taught you this. This is the science of goal achievement. You don't hit it again month 2, you write it again month 3. Now this becomes fucking insanity. Listen to this shit. You write it again. This is what your mentors taught you. I know it's fucking insanity. Okay? You don't hit it again month 3. By month 4, you write down another 100,000. You don't hit it again. You are now, and by the way, some people have been here, by the way. Don't lie to me, I've been here. You are now on month 12, still putting $100,000. See, your heart and your brain starts to do this. You know what it starts to do? It starts to get exhausted. And these are the only two things that run your business: strategy and fucking emotions. The ability to be fired up for no reason, and the strategy to actually execute the shit. Those two things that literally get you to your money, those are the two things that start to get exhausted. You want to know why? because it stops trusting what you put on a piece of paper because you never hit it. By the 12th month, it says, we don't even believe this guy. Why am I going to be fired up? Why am I even going to go after the strategy? There's such a far disconnect because you didn't achieve just the next goal, which was $2,000 because you've already done $2,000 in one day. And you're writing the $100,000 goal. Do you want to know how the science of achieving goals works? When you get this thing and this thing in complete alignment to your next goal. And by the way, if it's so far your goal, get it to achieve something. Write that down, something. Because my brain and my heart has to know that I'm an achiever. Most of you guys haven't been, did I ever guys tell you about the story when I asked one of my one-on-one clients when Maria's like, I'm struggling. She was making $100,000 a month and then she went down to $20,000 a month and I said, Mari, when's the last time you achieved something? And she looked at me and she said, what do you mean? I said, when's the last time your heart and your mind believed that you were an achiever? You're never gonna hit your $100,000 a month again, I said. You wanna know why? Because these are the two things that drive your business, and these two things don't trust what you put on a piece of paper anymore. Can we go achieve something today? I said the reason why I achieve all the dreams that I want inside of life is because I fucking get out there and I achieve the smallest things. That's what millionaires do. That's what billionaires do. You only look at their billionaire paycheck, but you don't look that billionaires have to get their heart and their mind in complete alignment to achievement. And they'll never achieve the big things if they don't know what they can control today. I'm like, so what's the quickest thing we can do to get your heart, your brain, your mind, and your heart to say, this person actually achieves stuff? I said, what can we do right now? She said, I don't know. I said, can we door knock somebody and get their information right now to get, yes, okay, so what can we do right now? Can we get 3 people's contacts? She said, yes. I said, we can get 3 people's contacts, yes. So the heart and the mind says, oh, Mari can do it. I need these 2 things to work with you all day. I need the mind and the heart to work with you. That's how you have that complete alignment towards your goals. I don't know how we got there, but maybe that's something you guys can think of by tonight. So here's the